Previously on Vortex Reviews.
Solo?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was just going to review the film. Tell Kathy I got the script.
Song pichale. Marakampi na makichita. Jaba wa ninchiko babushani kaitani wa nyaruska. Chasginya wikuchuso.
Yeah, but this time I got the script.
Erichalia kulka inti kunin kusua.
I don't have it with me. Tell Kathy.
Namaharitikti. Tongkurulye pulyanya urwas batika kushuku ponawatwipi.
We all have to grow up someday. You think I had a choice?
Club Java. Pukpa kumpakni at apampa.
Over my dead body.
Uchle nyuma. Chespo kututa krista krenko. Jak Oscar.
Yes, I bet you have. Solo, a Star Wars story, the second spin-off to the Star Wars saga. A spin-off, I might add, that no one asked for. The hype for this movie was second to none. And after all the controversies surrounding this film, I was sorta turned off. Controversies such as reshoots, actors needing coaching, and the introduction of Lando's sexual orientation into the saga. Yeah, you heard me right, they're apparently trying to sell Lando as a pansexual.
You fucking people.
What the fuck? This has gone absolutely too far. Okay. Give me one good reason for this decision. In what way does this add to Lando's character? How does it change my view on his actions in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi? So, let's get started. And as always, spoilers ahead. Let's start with some overall notes and feels, and then later dive in a little deeper. The opening of this movie is a best of Han Solo montage with several homages. To me, this indicates that the writing team probably sat through the original trilogy with a pen and paper, writing down classical Han Solo moments, and then proceeded to shove them into this movie without hesitation. The very first thing we see in this movie is Han stealing a speeder, and then hanging up his lucky golden dice. They were obviously going to be in the film, since they are featured in The Last Jedi. This would give the audience an easy connection to the last film. Anyway, the opening continues to develop into a clusterfuck. After a short chase scene, Solo threatens a alien slug crime boss, totally original by the way, with a thermal detonator, also totally original.
Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
As he tries to leave, they also reference the Greedo scene almost verbatim. He tells the bouncer he will get the money, or in this case, the coaxium fuel. After that, another chase scene ensues where Han gets away by signing up with the Empire. They ask for his surname, and since he doesn't have one, since he is on his own, the guard just give him the name Solo. Yeah, did you get that? Cause his name is Solo, cause he's alone, you know, cause he's an orphan. You got that? Okay, good, got it, great. After that, we skip ahead 3 years and we're dropped right into a firefight. So the movie starts with a chase scene, slows down a little bit when he goes in to talk with his boss. it leads into another chase scene, then into a smaller interior chase scene, and then skip ahead 3 years to the middle of a goddamn war. You see where I'm going with this? The pacing is so fucking off in this movie, it made me sick to my stomach. The first hour of this 2 hour and 15 minute long movie felt so long and boring due to this. Han meets up with a gang of criminals posing as Imperial soldiers led by Tobias Beckett. Han tries to blackmail Beckett into letting him in on the plan. Beckett then throws Han into a mud pit where a beast is being held captive. This of course turns out to be Chewbacca. A nod to the scene in Empire where Han is thrown into Jabba's jail only to find Chewie there.
Chewie.
Long story short, they bond, escape, and joins up with Beckett again, who takes them on for a heist. They're going to steal coaxium for a crime syndicate called the Crimson Dawn. And that is basically the premise for the plot. The twist can be seen coming a mile ahead. Woody Harrelson's character says, "Don't trust anyone." Well, guess who betrays Han at the end? Then, the next twist appears. Apparently, Crimson Dawn works for Darth Maul. This is pretty stupid, and I guess they were going for a shock factor, which I will it fucking worked on me. I was very shocked and surprised, but after I got to my senses and actually analyzed the whole scene, yeah. First of all, yes, he survived being chopped in half on Naboo in The Phantom Menace, for those who haven't seen Rebels and Clone Wars, and since his survival is canonized in those shows. But for people who don't know this, is going to be thrown completely off guard by this. Of course, this is just fan service. They couldn't go one movie without a fucking lightsaber. So in the end, when Kira talks with Maul over hologram, he ignites his saber for no reason than to make the fanboys cream their pants. So yeah, this was pretty stupidly presented, I guess. But yeah, I give them that. It was very unexpected and they got me. I've heard rumors that Darth Maul is gonna get his own show, and if that is true, I guess this just sort of warms the audience in for that. Moving on to the individual characters. The biggest cancer of them all is L337. See what they did there? She is a complete carry for PC, and she's not even subtle about it. She literally says she wants equality.
Excuse me. Get your presumptuous ass out of my seat.
That is a bitch, you see.
I fucking hated this character. She was shoved in to speak her PC stuff and then get killed off. Kira, played by Emilia Clarke, who still can't fucking act, was also very boring and wasn't a convincing love interest, since, spoilers, he ends up with Leia in the original trilogy anyway, so why even bother? Donald Glover as Lando was fucking cool, as was Woody Harrelson as Tobias Beckett, the sort of mentor character of the film. Woody Harrelson's actual character didn't stand out much, but I'm still gonna give credit where credit is due, and he still performed very admirably. The villain, Dryden, played by Paul Bettany, wasn't interesting or memorable whatsoever. He was in a total of 2 scenes in the movie, yeah, maybe 2.5. Overall, the characters are flat, boring, and doesn't take the viewer anywhere. Alden Ehrenreich did his job as Han Solo. He wasn't terrible, but he was far from good. Apparently, he needed acting lessons on set in order to play the role of Han Solo. In the end, I didn't see Han. I saw Space Dude wearing Han's clothes. He was neither good or bad, but he did okay. Moving on. The score isn't too memorable. The only ones I do remember are from John Williams' original score, which are also shoved into this movie for nostalgic purposes, of course. You can't have a Falcon scene without this blasting in your ears. And this movie just proved it. Otherwise, the score is made by John Powell, who is a pretty competent composer. There was one other piece that stuck out to me, and that was Enfys Nest's theme. The references, or rip-offs, continue. For example, Han and Kira kiss on board the Millennium Falcon only to be interrupted by Lando, just like Han and Leia kiss on board the Millennium Falcon only to be interrupted by C-3PO.
Sir, I've isolated the reverse power flux coupling.
Han Solo and Lando fucking hug the same way they did in Empire. Because they gotta milk everything. Han kills the bad guy by shooting first.
Yes, I bet you have.
And so on. You see, it's just a checklist. They're just trying to book off classical Han Solo moments and just put them into this film. This movie really proves how small the Star Wars concept really is. You can't make a Star Wars movie without all the stuff they are rehashing. Empire, TIE Fighters, Walkers, lightsabers, Stormtroopers, Star Destroyers. Tons of moments in the film where they want you to be excited, and it just doesn't quite click. So in retrospect, Solo, a Star Wars story, a culmination of reshoots, envelope-pushing, PC agendas, which results in a half-assed, yet slightly entertaining movie. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you made it all the way to the end, I thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Have a great day. Vortex out.